What's up YouTube? This is Green Valor, and if you're wondering why I haven't made a video all week, my computer's been shit in the bed again. It turns out there was a program that was causing the issue. I couldn't find it on my computer. I would have had to go into programs and gone through all the programs and find it specifically, and that caused an issue with the drivers updating on Windows 10. It's either that or Windows 10 just didn't update the drivers properly, which I believe that as well. But anyways, I had to reformat the whole fucking thing again. And now I'm starting from fresh again, which is okay because every now and then I'll get a bunch of programs on my computer I don't really care for. I'll try and do video editing programs, sound software, whatever. So I just cleaned it all up. I was going to do a product review. Where's my phone? Right here. On this phone right here. This new Galaxy something JG3. I don't know. I don't know what the model number is. I'm going to look it up actually on the phone. It has it in there in the settings. Just take a second. Settings, about phone. So Samsung J320W8. Okay. Anyways, it's the most expensive prepaid phone I could find. And this thing runs great, actually. I like it. It's fast. It must have a decent RAM in it because the programs load like no problem. It's definitely an upgrade from this thing. I don't know what it's called. I call it an HTC Baked Potato because that's what it is. The guy at Best Buy knew exactly what it was. He's like, I guess he's 2 years old, right? And I walk up, he's like, because I'm like, I'm just looking for an upgrade, basically. He's asked what I want, obviously. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just looking for an upgrade for a phone. He's like, oh, what phone do you have? I show him the phone. He's like, oh, that's the HTC, blah, blah, blah. You know exactly what the fucking phone was. And I'm like, that's crazy to me, because how many phones are out there? How does he just fucking know? He's like, no. And he didn't even, like, look at the thing. He just, like, he saw the back. And he's like, oh, I know exactly what the phone that is. He's like, yes, this is definitely an upgrade, because this is this phone. And I'm like, how much RAM the phone has? Like 2 gigs or something. And he's like, well, I don't know that. He's like, I can look it up for you. I'm like, nah, it's okay, man. It's gonna be fine. It's got 16 gigs of memory, which is great. I'd have to look up the actual model number and go from there if I want to see more details. But it's got a really good camera on it. And shit, dude, like, it just runs apps no problem. Also, I bought a 64 gig Lexar micro SD. Which I wonder why I bought 64 gig micro SD. It's because I keep running out of space when I'm storing my music on my phone, and now I can download all the DMX I want. So, anyways, this video is going to be about open debate. I know I rambled on for 3 minutes, but I had to just to update you guys on what's going on and why the fuck I haven't made a video all week. I'm going to try and pump out 3. But the importance of open debate in, I guess, relative terms, you learn, you gain knowledge. And I've learned that through YouTube because I debate people all the time on YouTube, and it's awesome because I learn something every time, even if I'm right. You know what I mean? Even if I'm right, at least they give me some knowledge in their whole explanation, and I enjoy that. And you make friends. You know, you talk to people. Sometimes you agree to disagree. Sometimes one person sways the other over. You come to a mutual understanding, and then you're like, all right, cool. This guy's all right. And then you might talk later on in some other comment section, and it's interesting. But the importance of open debate is to learn. It's to step outside of your comfort zone, teach you something new, and just improve your social skills. Because what you'll find is those that don't participate in open debate very often, when they are confronted with, how would I put this, a situation where they have to debate someone, they have to argue their points, they act like fucking children. And this happens quite often, and I've seen it happen quite often. I've seen it happen a lot in college. I've had a few students in my program, but most of the students in my program, because they knew what they were getting into, they weren't really acting like children, but I've seen it in other programs, and it's pretty sad. And these are the kind of people that want to shut someone down by calling them racist, bigots, misogynists, whatever, just so they don't have to face the reality that this person's going to debate them, they're going to argue them, they're going to beat the shit out of them in an open debate because they know their shit and you don't. And that's what it comes down to, is you need to know what you're talking about. And if you don't know what you're talking about and someone else does, especially on the internet, they're going to prove you wrong 99.9% of the time. I get into debates with people all the time, and they're like, yeah, but this and this and that. And I'm like, no, that's not actually true. I got into a debate with this guy about the transsexual thing. And because I'm into nutrition, I'm into working out. So obviously I've done a lot of research into supplements, testosterone, replacement therapy, steroids, just to understand what they're about and, what you would be getting into if you did. Honestly, I don't really want to touch that stuff. I'm going to fuck my testosterone right up if I even start with that. I don't want to risk it, so I'm not going to get on gear ever. Uh, Maybe when I'm like 40, my top testosterone drops, I'll go on some therapy, but for now, I'm not going to fucking fuck with that shit. But basically, the argument came down to how much testosterone and estrogen it would take to cause actual changes, right? And the actual statistics from most of the scholarly journals I've read were about anywhere from 250 to 500 milligrams, I believe, weekly, which is a lot. Now, your average bodybuilder might take 100 milligrams a day, but that's stretching it, to be honest. And that's to go beyond the limitations of what we normally have. Like, you don't take testosterone to match what you've already got. You take it to accelerate. You take it to buff up what natural testosterone you already have, which damages your testosterone, but at the same time, you're just trying to get fucking jacked. Testosterone is vital to build muscle. It's the hormone that causes your body to start producing more muscle. So it's obviously important that you have more testosterone, which is why that's a common steroid. I try to explain to this guy that the amount of testosterone or estrogen you would have to take as a male or woman, depending on where you're transitioning, would, like, a full transition would kill you if you're not careful. The actual full transition would take you anywhere from 10 to 20 years. Because you're changing organs, you're changing muscle, you're changing bones. Okay, and I had to explain to him that in sports competitions where the woman is transitioning to a man, she's at an obvious disadvantage. In sports competitions where it's a man transitioning to a woman, she is obviously at a major advantage because she still has all the same muscle, bone, and organ functions as a man while she's transitioning, or he, or whatever you want to put it. And you're at an obvious advantage. It doesn't change overnight. That's not how the replacement therapy works. You're changing the entire chemistry of your body. And men and women are different. Regardless of what people say, men have significantly more muscle than a woman. Their bone structure is significantly thicker. So you are at an advantage as a man transitioning to a woman going into sports, which is why I'm totally against it. And I tried arguing that point, and what it ultimately came down to was just him saying I was uneducated in what I was talking about and called me a bigot. But I was educated, and he didn't know that, and I shut him right down. The truth is, if you start your replacement therapy at around 18, you might be able to make a full transition by the time you're 23 in about 5 years, but likely it's going to be around 28. Based on, this is anecdotal, but based on what I've looked into it, that's relatively what you're looking at right there. Mainly because even at 18, your body's not fully developed. But at 18, I would be okay with people doing that because it's a pretty standard consenting age for that sort of thing. And let's be real here. If you're going through that sort of thing, it's mutilation of your body. You're mutilating your genitalia. You're going to be infertile. You can't produce offspring after that. We don't have the technology to insert a womb into a man and insert productive sperm in a woman for that therapy, so you're infertile from there on out, and you can't reverse that. So I do believe there needs to be a consenting age. I don't have a problem with people doing it. Do whatever you want with your body, but we need to have a consenting age at that point. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. So the importance of open debate is learning those things. So this guy obviously learned a lot from me. I learned a bit from him, but most of what his debate came down to was, you're a bigot, you should just let these people do whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, I don't care if they do whatever, just get your facts straight. You know what I mean? Don't lie to people. Like, just be real with people. Like, I don't care if you do it. It's your body. If you're at the consenting age, I really don't care. But we need to give them the facts, because the suicide rate among transsexuals is fucking insane. The number of people that regret the surgery, crazy. Crazy. So I believe it's important to have the facts out there, which is why I never turn away someone talking to me and arguing with me. It's fine, because if they have some knowledge that I don't have, never turn away from your knowledge. That's what I've learned in life, because there are people who are reluctant to give you knowledge, but when it comes to an open debate, they're fully willing to give you all the knowledge they have, because they want to defeat you in that debate, which is just knowledge you can take in. You know what I mean? It's free. They're giving it to you for free. Why would you turn it away? But anyways, that's my talk about why it's important to have an open debate with people, why it's important to talk to people in such an open setting, and a story from YouTube of where I had this open debate with this person, and even though maybe it didn't lead to some greater knowledge, I did learn something. So that's all. This has been Green Valor. Comment about your open debates, of course, because I do love suggestions. Like the video, subscribe if you like the content, and you guys have a good day.